We are back here at Whip Salon on Carolina Women, and Cathy Ulmer has joined us from Ulmer's Pharmacy. Yeah. It's a rainy day today.
It is.
And we're talking a little bit about allergies. We were talking about how every kid we know and every adult we know is...
Yes. Hopefully the rain is washing some of that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Will you talk to us generally about what allergies are? Because I think there's a baseline that many of us get confused about what they really are.
So allergies are kind of like more of a histamine type reaction in your body, because it's like, hey, this is a foreign thing, and we don't all have those same foreign triggers. And once your body triggers that, you begin with all these like little guys inside of your body that think it's a foreign object, and they're going to fight it. And the fighting is that sniffle and that runny nose.
They're trying to get it out, right?
They're trying to get it out.
Yep.
Like they're like, hey, you know, like go after it. So in order to combat that, we have to look at things that either desensitize us to the allergies by like honey or bee pollen or allergy shots or drops, or just treating them with, you know, your antihistamines or things like that.
So let's talk about Lowcountry specific allergies. And then you mentioned things like honey, kind of a very simple, natural way to immunize yourself.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
I mean, you hear a lot now about microdosing, so I like to use that word because people are kind of familiar with, oh, like low doses of things or homeopathic type, you know, just giving yourself a little bit. So honey is packed with all like the pollen and everything in the area, like all the bees have put it in there and made this nice little tincture.
Doesn't it make sense?
Yeah, so if you give yourself a little bit of honey from the area, you're just kind of like microdosing or giving yourself a little bit every day. So over time, you can build up that your body's not as agitated, or it's like, oh, I've been seeing this regularly. Maybe I won't attack it and try to push it out.
Do you make tinctures?
We are going to start making allergy sublingual drops. So it's kind of like a tincture and kind of the similar thing.
So great for
you'll be able to
kids.
go to the doctor and just have one prick.
Got it.
Send off your results, and then once they decide what allergies you have, we'll be able to compound your specific tincture. So almost like your bee pollen or your
and
honey.
then it's just in a drop?
And it's in a drop, so a sublingual drop. So you just drop it in every day and slowly kind of build up and get, you know, those cat allergies, those pollen allergies, those, you know.
Is that what you see the most, or is it more environmental with our seasonal?
Well, here we have lots. I mean, the environmental is just so widespread. But, you know, I have so many people that can't, you know, go to their friend's house because they have a cat, or they can't, you know, eat certain things. And, you know, so it'd be nice to at least maybe not build up complete resistance, depending on what it is, but be able to tolerate it.
What is your recommendation for someone who is traveling, or I'm going to Erin's house and I have a cat allergy and she loves her cats? Are there preventative things I can do?
It's best to do something to prevent it. So taking an antihistamine, like a daily one, at least maybe a couple of days before you go, like Claritin, Zyrtec, you know, there's a whole plethora of antihistamines. Will help. There's also some antihistamines out there, so their pharmacist can point you in a direction of ones you take every 4 to 6 hours, which might keep up with it a little bit better, like in a case where you're just like, I'm going to my friend's house, I need, you know, this faster and more.
And if those don't seem to work, is that an indication that you need something a little bit stronger?
Yes.
Or maybe it's not an allergy, is that what you mean?
Or either maybe it's not an allergy, or maybe it's going to be hard. Maybe it's not just an histamine. Maybe it's other things. So that, you know, it's singular. There's other medications the doctor can prescribe that might go at some of those other little, you know, markers that are chasing things away.
So is the medication or is the treatment curing? It's just treating symptoms?
The over-the-counter stuff is just treating symptoms. So that's when you have to be like, okay, I'm taking my antihistamine, I've tried all of them, nothing's happening, I'm running a fever, you know, and that's when you can be like, well, maybe it's not allergies, maybe
that's
I
what
have
we're
a
talking
cold,
about.
so
Is
kind
it
of bringing it around.
that allergies can worsen over time if you don't
allergies are
treat
just
them?
changing. So I would say they can worsen, they can better,
or you could grow out of them even.
You can grow out of them, So
interesting.
Well, at 70, I mean, how much longer does it take?
How much longer does it take? Well, that's what I found. Like, I've been here my whole life, and I've never had any allergies. But like my sister, who's the same situation, she suddenly is developing an allergy to something.
Interesting.
It's so
but the change in the flowers and the environment we're building, and
well, Cathy Ulmer, as always, it is super fun. It's kind of beautiful to be talking about the out of doors here.
I know, we're right.
Looking at the out of doors.
This is nice.
Stay with us. There's a lot more to come here at Whip Salon on Carolina Women.